see a lot of businesses who want to leave, and so that's great, but we also want to make sure that there's no reason that's making them want to leave. So what I like to do is sit down with our big employers once a year and individually and just kind of learn what's going on. And those things that are going to make them want to leave are the, what local challenges are presenting that. And so trying to find those, learn what's going on as an industry, see what we can do to help and work forward from there. Obviously entrepreneurship has been a big thing. I had a lot of people from downtown businesses throughout the county who wanted to meet with me this year, more than I had usually, which is great. So I got to learn a little bit more about some of the different things happening in our downtown communities and how to support businesses there. And then obviously the big things, transportation, housing, placemaking, community development. So the next page, just the budget overview, kind of where we're at and what that would look like with or without that county funding. So we'd probably be back into that half-time position. If there's an opportunity where we looked at what the percentage of the budget was last year at 100,000, it was 0.7%. If that were to be extended this year at that same percentage, would be an increase of 8,500 to 108,500. So that's what that is. The next slide just shows a little breakdown on the expenses and budget need, their income and budget need, and the following one is income and expenses. And I can, if anyone has questions, I can answer anything there. But yeah, basically just the idea is if we just go ahead to the why invest in OCEA, we can jump ahead a couple slides here and I'll quit talking. So yeah, that increase just supports the current programming and new programming, and then we cover economic development, community development, and things throughout the county, and so we just want to continue providing those services for the county and being able to provide those services to businesses and government at no cost to them. And yeah, so we want to be able to continue to do that and be able to do other things. So yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I would like to say thank you, and I would like to reiterate what you said about Walkerville and the Quick Mart. And Chad and Danielle Benning have done an absolutely beautiful job with what they've done with the station, and it was the brownfield and the help that was given to them. I am just so happy for Chad and Danielle and what they've done there. And also, they've purchased the Crystal Valley Tavern, so that's another bright spot that they'll be renovating the old CVT and turning that back into an ongoing business also. So we've got two people right there that are really making a difference out east. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
And I agree. Annabelle Acres is also really helping pull people out east. Yeah.
Yes.
They're doing a great job.
Yes.
You want to make a quick pitch about the breakfast going up too? Just so
yeah, absolutely. So our annual economic update breakfast will be coming up on October 2nd. And so at 7:30 at Double J, 7:30 to 10. So we'd love to see you there. So
wonderful. Thank you, sir. And you brought a pretty good crew today too. Look at that. We wondered a lot of backup.
We're ready for it. I was going to hand all the questions to them. So
All right. We have time. We started intentionally at 10 o'clock today, so if any of the members of the board want to speak to us, this would probably be a good time for them if they'd like to.
Would there be anyone?
Well, I will, if that's all right.
That's your job.
Right. So I've been watching Curtis and his, I've been watching Curtis, you know what I mean by that, and just watching what he does for our county for, 3.5 years now? Mm-hmm. And I just admire the work that he does. I mean, he is all in on Oceana County. He is all in economic development. And really, when you think about what the budget supports, it supports his work. There's a face to that, to that budget line item, and that's Curtis. And he represents us very, very well, and just really appreciate how much he gives to us as a county and makes this happen. So just want to give credit where credit is due.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Anyone else?
I didn't drive up to Grand Rapids for nothing. Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good
As
morning.
Curtis said, my name is Tim Mraz. I'm the Senior Vice President of Community Development for The Right Place. I have the privilege of having Curtis on my team. The one thing this morning, there's a lot of thank yous going to Curtis and his team. I wanted to thank you guys. As Curtis mentioned, I work with 6 counties around West Michigan. We have counties that give our economic development representatives nothing, and we have counties that give them a full ride and support them entirely. I will tell you that your guys' support means an incredible amount to not just this organization, but to Curtis's ability to do his work. I think it's often forgotten when folks like Curtis have to do their job as well as fundraise full-time, the burden that it puts on that job and the reduction in effectiveness that would have if that was the case. So not only should you guys be commended for investing in economic development, but freeing that burden from him and letting him do his job. You see the results of that this morning. So I am extremely pleased to have him on the team. He's one of the best team members we have. But I want to thank you guys as well for your continued commitment to that. So.
Thank you. Very much. The Right Place.
Maybe too late for that lead.
I'll say a little bit. A lot of you guys probably don't know who I am. I've been at Arbor Farms for pushing 15 years now. Curtis probably started coming in right before we started having a ton of our issues. We have had a ton of legislation come down from the state which have really impacted our operations to the point where we didn't know whether or not we would be able to continue in the area we were. And likely without the investment from our company now out west, here we wouldn't have been. And then with Curtis's help, he's a great connector. Curtis has connected us with a ton of people to be able to help us meet the demands that we need to do, because our business it has an effect on this county as a whole with all of the farmers that we touch. So we produce over 100 million pounds of product. If we can't get our wastewater under control without Curtis's help pointing us to the Jody Gruners and Daryl Todds of the world to help us navigate this area, I don't know that we would still be in the area we are now. And if we were, it could have been significantly less production, meaning significantly less dollars and revenues coming into our area. Without those connections from Curtis, I don't know that we could have. So we've always really appreciated Curtis. Not just that, now all of our folks are from Walkerville. Walkerville, Baldwin, and they're starting to see the investment coming in with the new store. I don't know how many people, we have lunch break, we got to start hauling them back in because they're over at the store getting their lunches. There's places for them to sit down and eat now. There wasn't that since Crystal Valley Tavern went under. So, Curtis, we really appreciate the work you do. And to the commission, thank you guys for the investment in that. It is keeping jobs out east, on the east part of the county.
A lot of guys might remember Mike Chase and Chase Farms and what we processed out there then. Can you tell everybody what we're putting up now?
Yes. So now I came in shortly after Mike Chase. So I came in 2012. So at that point we were running cherries, asparagus, carrots, peas, rutabagas, sweet potatoes, beets. We've gotten out of the cherry business specifically because of what happened in 2019 with us. So we had a FDA event where they came in and we had to essentially revamp our entire infrastructure. Because of that, we can't put uncooked product where our cooked product goes. So essentially fruit's off the table. So since then, we've gone asparagus, peas, beans, zucchini, carrots, winter squash, both butternut and Hubbard varieties, sweet potatoes, rutabagas, beets. We did peppers for a little bit of time, but we're just not very good at it. So, and a lot of our growers in this area don't grow them, so getting them here was a lot harder. So we're planning on doing 100 million this year with all the capital we've had to put out there with Curtis's help. We had to shrink because of the legislation, our PAC plan down from being from May through March to now May through November. So we had to shrink 100 million pounds from 11 months down to 6. And with his help, we've been able to do that. And so we won't be taking any of the volume. You know, we weren't sure we would be able to do it. We're still going to push 100 million pounds.
Paul, may I?
Yes.
At our last board meeting, we agreed to enter into an agreement with 4 other counties in West Michigan and hire our lobbyists to work for these 5 counties. We felt as though MAC was doing adequate job, but some of the counties had concerns, and president of MAC for the upcoming year is going to be the chairman of the Newaygo County Board of Commissioners, who is from Oceana County, born and raised in Oceana County. But we felt even with that going on, the Newaygo County led the charge and talked to us about it, and we have now a lobbyist who is going to be working, a lobby firm who is going to be working directly with us. If you have an issue, I'm sure you have people work for you too, but if you have an issue that you need, you know, some help in Lansing, we have a firm that we are in direct contract with, and our county administrator, it'll be good that Curtis knows what's going on also, but our county administrator will be is a contact for our lobbyist firm that we have now.
Okay, that would be great.
One last thing.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody where those rutabagas end up?
So I can tell you where all of it. Rutabagas end up in a lot of things. It's a very good filler. So we used to do it. Sometimes you would sell them for the pears that would come in cocktails, fruit cocktails, because they will take on the flavor of pretty much anything. They'd be added into those. But they go everywhere. They've been used in soups and everything else like that as well.
When I found out they were in the fruit cocktail, that was the most amazing part.
Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't expect it because they don't smell anything like what they end up tasting like.
Paul, did you quit eating fruit cocktail when you found out?
No, my kids still love it. And they don't.
I gotta support Arbor Farms.
Yep.
No.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Very good. Department head reports. Gentlemen.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. You'll hear from Under Sheriff pretty soon, but my report's a little bit more sobering. We've had a pretty serious last couple weeks with some real serious investigations. As I'm sure you all know, we had a terrible accident out in Golden Township, and we're continuing to investigate that even as yesterday, where more evidence is brought in reference to that. We also had a fatal crash, a lawnmower accident, freak accident out in Colfax Township. Both young people. That was a 40-year-old, and Golden was a 17-year-old. So we've had some really serious events. On top of our detectives have investigated CSCs here within the county and made arrests. Been very fruitful investigations. So we've had some real serious situations go on too here towards the tail end of summer that we're dealing with. But we're prepared to do that and dealing with it. Jail is running steady. We're at about 35 to 37 inmates, so not a lot, but we're at a good amount. We had a wonderful interview with a young man who is certifiable, and with the situation Undersheriff's going to speak with you about coming up in the next meeting, we're trying to make preparations to have positions filled, and this young man is, although from Spring Lake, he's got very deep Oceana ties. You would all know the Borgeld family name that he's associated with, so we're getting some good people in place to move forward with what we're working on. Any questions for me? Of course, we're at the fair this week too. He's trying to make the fair.
He's been busy. He's been very busy. No, thanks for being at the fair, and thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Can't go to the Council on Aging, but.
Well, I need your business card, because I got a couple poles and mirrors I need moved.
All right, let me get you one out.
Here it is.
Oh, good, I'll get with you.
Yep, you will.
Thanks, Rich.
We'll call this meeting adjourned. Mr. Hardy.
What's up?
May I, Mr. Hardy?
Sure.
I know a lot of you people have business and you have to get back to your businesses and everything, and you're not going to offend us at all. Thank you for being here, but if you have
Appreciate
to
it.
step out, we do
Appreciate
understand
the support.
that.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Finance and Administration Committee. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Mr. Beggs. Here. Mr. McCormick.
Here.
Mr. Erickson. Here. And Mr. Walker.
Here.
It asks for approval of the meeting minutes from August 13th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Beggs, support by McCormick. Any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Is there any changes to the agenda? No changes to the agenda. Ask for approval of the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by McCormick.
I'll support.
Support by Beggs. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Any public comment at this time for the Finance and Administration Committee? Any public comment? Hearing none. Under Sheriff Schiller, Hart School Resource Officer contract.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning, Ryan.
I distributed, I think in your packets, or for your packets, a draft, and after comparing my numbers with Miss Jessica in Tracy's office, I made a couple of edits, so you probably have a fresh copy in front of you.
Yes.
With some change, just some clerical changes and some number changes, just so they kind of line up with what Ms. Jessica and I compared notes on. So there's no substantive changes to the verbiage in the packet. It's really more in the exhibits B, probably more or less, in the very back of the packet. And then the very last page in the paper packet that was provided to Ms. Tracy this morning has really just a breakdown of Exhibit B, and because the format or the template kind of rounding, using whole numbers and not getting too into the weeds, there are some just slight differences between the number breakdowns, but as a whole it kind of comes out in the wash, if you will. This is so this contract was the Board of Education for Hart, they reviewed last week Monday, I believe. It was in the memo that I sent to you in your original packet. Anyways, they reviewed it and have approved moving forward with it. It's a great partnership that we can support the school district in a way where they have a need. During the summer months, this contract is slightly different than the one we have with Shelby, in that during the summer months for Shelby, the village had a desire to contract with us for some hours during the summer. So this contract is slightly different in that there's not that third party involvement. So one of the natural questions might be, well, what's he going to do for those extra hours? And we have been discussing that just due to the kind of the staffing needs and how things have been operating, being short-staffed kind of on a continual basis. The idea is that potentially he would use those hours during those summer months to alleviate some overtime when people are off on vacation, and some of those mandatory staffing needs during those summer months. We have to also keep in mind that during the last contract we increased the comp hours for our SROs specifically, And that was done in an effort to try and reduce overtime hours during the course of the school year and encourage the SROs to try to make those sporting events or those extracurricular after-school events and not incur overtime. That being said, we strongly encouraging them to take those hours, their vacation time during the school's days off. So Christmas break, spring break, Thanksgiving break, those types of things. But of course then there's still extra time. So we are encouraging them to take those hours off during the summer months, but the balance of that, we'd like to utilize that individual during those summer months when we are at our busiest time and when staff does want to take time off. So I guess that's the thought process at this point. The school's been very supportive. The community seems to be very supportive, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about it.
Okay.
Any question, Mr.
Yeah.
Walker?
Sir.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan, I might be mixed up here. Wouldn't be the first time in my life.
You're okay.
But I might be mixed up here. On the first page, we have that it's effective from September 1st, 2026 to expire June 30th, 2028. And we go back to the last page in the contract that you just gave to us. That says September 1st to December, and I would take that to be December or 2026, and then January to June to be 2027. We have nothing in this contract for that second year as far as the cost.
Yeah, you're right. Are you referring to page 7 at the very top?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So the numbers, I figured the numbers based on the 2026 wages, and I figured ahead for the 2027 wages.
So should we put an asterisk on that and just indicate that to be adjusted for 2028?
I certainly can.
Is that, for the board members, is that a reasonable way of taking care of that? Because we're going to have increases in wages and costs and everything, and
yeah,
just so they know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in 2027 there is a 4% increase, which was figured in, but yes.
And I apologize for not bringing this up ahead of time, but I
No.
just noticed it when you referred us to that.
That's an
date,
easy add-on, and I'll revise that and get it back over to you before the regular board meeting. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Under Sheriff.
Anyone else?
Any other questions?
I think it's a good deal. I mean, it's going to help.
It'll be good. It'll be a good partnership.
It'll help Brad.
For sure.
Get his feet on the ground.
Yep. He's very invested, he's prioritizing school safety significantly. That's a huge priority to him. It's a good thing.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Administrator Briard, Administrator's review of selected claims for payment and Administrator's report.
The claims for payment have been provided for you. So any questions on those? If not, I don't have a lot to report. We've been working on FOIA requests lately and working through the budget, so that's been quite a bit, taking up quite a bit of my time. As you notice, we have caution tape on our door here. That stairway has been removed. They thought it was going to take a few days, but they were able to knock it out in one day, so that's been completed.
That means it wasn't in very good shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly, yeah. Tracy called me earlier in the week that the building inspector's office required engineer to certify the steps that are going to be done. I should have realized when we were doing this that had to be done. It just slipped past me, because anything that's pre-made like that goes in has to have a seal from an engineer on. The prints have to have a seal from the engineer on. You just can't do those things. Joel understands it better than I do, but that slipped past me. So there's going to be an additional cost to get them sealed. And Jeremy Horton is doing it. He's working with Tri-Berry you know,
Good.
to make the necessary adjustments for it.
Good.
And your opioid RFPs that went out were discussed at Community Mental Health at our meeting, and they are pulling together a package.
Good.
A package for us, and I'm sure the District 10 Health Department is going to take a close look at it too, because they do Mecosta County.
Yep, I provided them a copy of that as well. I will also be sending that out to some other organizations in the surrounding areas so that they can have an opportunity to do that too. I want to tell you that I am so excited that that is off my plate, because it has been a headache from the beginning. So the RFP is complete, and it was really hard to bring in some of the community the committee members to discuss the RFP, because a lot of them are wanting to bid on the project. So I was really kind of left out there on my own to work on it. So it's done, it's posted, and hopefully we'll be getting some good RFPs back anyway.
The thing that made that difficult is it's also brand new. There's so many restrictions on what you can do and so many restrictions on what you can't do.
Right.
And nobody's ever really been into this before, so you can't go for any place else for resources. You know, you do it and the state tells you can't do it that way.
The employee appreciation luncheon is this afternoon, or at lunchtime, and we would like you all to come and have a burger with us if you'd like. Also, I'll be asking the board to vote on some decorated doors today, if you would, for prizes, so that we can give some prizes out to our departments. So I think that's all I have.
I don't know if everybody ever heard the treasurer's office, is it?
Yes.
On some of their, take a good close look at it.
Yeah, the pictures.
There's some pictures, faces on it.
And the clerk's office has, they paper mached all of their animals that are on their door. So yeah.
Are there
Exciting
faces
stuff.
we will recognize?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, you'll see them.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Any questions or comments? Okay. Department head reports.
One more
Sure.
thing I forgot to mention. I'm sure you would like to hear about. Craig has probably got the email about it, but our director at Central Dispatch has had some changes in his personal side of life, and he came to me yesterday, and then he and I spoke about it, but he's decided to retire at the end of the year. So Mr. Ray Hassel, after 14 years of dedicated service, will be leaving us at the end of the year, and we're going to be going through the process of finding a replacement for his position. Ray's he's been a very dedicated, good employee. He's very talented and well-spoken in those terms, but we're going to be looking for a replacement for Mr. Hassel moving forward. So just wanted you, if you weren't aware of that, to be aware.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Hardy, can I?
Under Sheriff?
Just wanted to add, I have been continuing to talk with the leadership from Trinity Health, Muskegon, really more than anything, regarding the Rural Health Transformation Project grant funding and availability, looking at our inmate health care, and just exploring what opportunities might be available just because of the cost of that program. So they are still very engaged with us and very willing to help, and they're still looking for avenues to help us. This RHTP program being administered by MDHHS, it's probably as you would expect. And so things are not coming very quickly, but they are continuing to put a lot of resources together, talking with us, communicating with us as to what our needs are. And so they're still very positive about it. They still see the potential of a good possibility and something to happen from it, because they feel like the jail population and Oceana County, fitting the definition of rural health for MDHHS is significant. So I just wanted to let you know we're still talking about that because I know that that number is a big number and we're trying to figure it out. So.
In addition to that, Jennifer Martin, who does our health insurance
Yeah.
for the county, is also looking at inmate health insurance. So what would happen is, this is a program that Clare County did while I was there. Inmates go on this health insurance when they come into the jail, and then they go off as they leave. So there's coverage for them under that insurance, so which could help us cut some costs there too. So
Significantly, yeah.
yeah, something we're looking at.
Yeah, thank you. Tracy brought this to my attention, and so we're trying to schedule an appointment where the jail leadership and Miss Tracy and Miss Brown, we can all get together and talk about this and see what it looks like. Inmate healthcare, no matter where we are in America, your county jail inmates are the sickest population of any community. It's a known fact, and when they come to us, they're sick, and when we have to take them to the hospital and do all these things, there is a huge burden to the local taxpayer. So anything we can do to try and reduce that exposure from the county's perspective would be good, and so hopefully this is another potential help to us, because when any little bit helps in when those numbers, it's a good thing.
Yeah. For sure. But will be noted, oftentimes when they leave our jail, they're the healthiest that they've been in years. So we do fatten them up nicely, and they're in good care.
Yeah.
So our nurse does an amazing job, and a lot of, we just had a gentleman leave. He was a trustee with us for a long time. He formed a bunch of relationships, and when he left the jail, he was in tears. Is what it is.
I got a hug.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any public comment for Finance and Administration Committee? No? All right, we'll adjourn the Finance and Administration Committee meeting, and we'll start the regular